Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about different redstone circuits and how they can be used in Minecraft. So first we're going to look at a pulse extender. So pulse extenders are really useful because this is the normal output of a button, but when paired with these comparators, it's very useful. So it extends the length of the pulse enough so that it can keep running longer. Just place it there. Right, and then this can be expanded so it's much longer pulse, like so. Next, I'm going to move on to the clocks. So the comparators have a cool function where they can be turned to subtract mode. So this is the default mode, but then when you put it onto this, it has some special properties. So one of them is that it can create a fast redstone clock, which is very useful. Then you can do the same thing using observers. Observers observe each other and make a fast clock, so that it's very useful. Like it does a similar job to the other one, but more compact. And then we've got a similar implementation of this thing here, where we use a clock to spit out items. Then this is the same thing, but with a comparator feeding into repeaters, so it spits out the items the same way. This one's a bit slower, I'd say. That's the same thing. Then we got a large storage system. So the way these work is that the only item that can go into here is concrete. This one's a bit broken. One sec, let me just move these hoppers into the right position. So they all should be facing that way. Let's just put these in here, like so. Remove all these extra ones. So now I put in the filter here, and I put in white concrete. So the only way this can go is down here, and then it should stop at 41 items. Now the way this works is, so if I put in any item into here, then it goes into this chest, but the only item that can go through is white concrete, so if I put any other item, won't go in. So this will just stay up here. The way this works is with the use of comparators, you can take the signal strength of this hopper, and when it goes above 41, it reaches this bit, and the repeater unpowers the torch, which unlocks the hopper. Right, then we've got hopper clocks. So the way this one works is it's one hopper feeding into another. So when we put an item into here, it moves back and forth and creates a signal, a varied signal. A more advanced use of this is with the Etho hopper clock. It's named because it was made by a guy called Etho. So basically how this works is you have a certain amount of items in here which set how often this thing moves back and forth, and when it moves it creates a redstone signal out to the other one, so it can shift it shifts back and forth. This is a great example of how to make a timer, and you can put in as many items as you want to slow it down or speed it up. Then we've got a double piston extender. So when the lever is pressed, it will extend one piston, then the other piston will be here and get powered by this and push out its block. Then on the retraction, the pistons unpower systematically, so it creates the effect of pushing the block out and then retracting it back in, which is very cool. So next you have a randomizer. So how this works is you have a stackable items that give a less of an output to this comparator, but when the non-stackable item goes up into the hopper, it creates a large enough signal to get to the repeater and turn on the lamp. let's try it. So we got a stackable item there, a non-stackable there, and not a stackable. So how I've set it up is it's a quarter of a chance to get the non-stackable. Then over here I have a T flip-flop set up. So how this works is it flips the use of the input. So normally a button would just create a single signal and would decay. But how this changes it. So it uses a 1 tick pulse to spit out. So the piston will spit out this block over the top of here, creating a redstone output. So there's a redstone torch under there that then powers the block. Now, how it creates the 1 tick pulse is through a monostable circuit, which is very useful. So how this works is there's a piston in the floor, and then when you press it, you see how quickly the repeater goes on and off. It's very cool. Alright, then, so I'm going to show you how to build some of these things. So with these ones, they're quite easy to build. You just have to make sure that the comparator, it faces the opposite way from the other side. So you have it running along like this, then it turns and it comes back along. So it can go up like that and come back round. Then with these, it's quite simple. You just get the redstone dust in a right angle, and then have a comparator there. This one, so you have an input into a piston which pushes the observer down. Make sure the faces are looking at each other. Then same thing with this, but it just needs a comparator from a dropper. And this block then powers the dropper, so that's important. A lot of people wouldn't. You can power the piston with anything here. It goes through the block here. It's cool. But you need an observer on here to make sure it works. Then with the storage system, you just have comparator, redstone, repeater into block, and then a redstone torch up into these hoppers. And in the hopper you need filter blocks, which I just name a random item. That over here with this one, you just have 2 hoppers facing into each other's, and then comparator into block with redstone on top of it, and then pistons pushing between. These have to be sticky pistons, remember, I think. Yeah, they're sticky pistons. Right, I've broken that. Then this one, just have 1 repeater into the first piston on 2 ticks, then the second repeater on 4 ticks. This one, comparator out of the hopper, the dropper faces upwards into the hopper, then 2 redstone repeater into the lap. This one is more complicated, so button into block into redstone, then underground you put the sticky piston with block on top, repeater coming out into block with a block on it, so then it can spit it over the resin torch in the floor, which then powers an output. And this is already there. Alright, thanks for watching. Please do subscribe and hit the bell. Goodbye.